Tambi. Just waiting just a few minutes to see if anybody else is going to join us at this time. Kind of figuring out what's the best time to hold a meeting or not. So since this is our first week, this may not be the best time for people to join online. But next week I will try a different time to see if it's everybody's schedule a lot better. So I'm just going to wait a few more minutes. Well, why don't we just go ahead and get started? And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to, I have some offers and I will be also posting a link to my website because we have that up and going. So stay tuned right afterwards. Now, today I have a fiery red background because we're going to be dealing with spiritual versus reality. And I think a lot of people get these two things very confused, and they try to integrate them as though they're one thing as a whole. And really that's not true. But before we really get into the spirituality versus reality, I want to clarify on a few things, terminologies that I think people also get confused with spirituality. So the first thing is religion. And I'll read off the definition of religion to you guys. It's the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power or a personal god or gods. And there's a lot of different religions in our world. And some only prescribe to one god, while other religions will prescribe to several gods. Now, there's also the word religious. This is relating to or believing in a religion. Okay, so it's all about relating to or manifesting faithful devotion to an acknowledged ultimate reality or deity or gods. That is somebody who has a religious, who is religious. To the terminology of religiously, we've got two different definitions here. So we always want to make sure that the other person knows and understands what we're talking about when we use these terminologies. The first terminology is in a way that relates to or conforms with a religion, like a religiously based school. The other one, which you can also say self-discipline, if you will. It's doing something with consistent and conscientious regularity. So like when you're praying or when you're meditating or brushing your teeth or taking a shower, you're doing it consistently and with a conscientious regularity. Now also, as we're moving from the religious to religiously, we're going to dive into spiritual. Being spiritual, what in the world does that mean? It's the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. And I'm going to repeat that. It is the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. So we can tell right off the bat, just by the definition, that I think we have a lot of people who are very spiritual in this world. Just because they don't prescribe to some religious belief and they're not devoted to a religion doesn't mean that they're not spiritual. And if we really think about it, so many of our coaches and counselors and therapists are very spiritual. Why? Because they're dedicated to the quality of their concern to our human spirit or soul, not so much to our material or physical things that we have in the world. Now, bringing it down to our reality. Reality is the world or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or notional idea of them. The state of quality of having existence or substance. So reality is, hi Shiv, thank you for joining us. So I can say the reality that this microphone that I'm speaking on is black. That's the reality. It has nothing to do with spirituality. This is just the state of its existence. So when we're trying to put spirituality and mix it in with reality, we can get really confused and end up making some really confused, illogical decisions about how we should live our life versus our spiritual being, being concerned with the growth and the growth and the development of our actual human spirit and soul. So when we are spiritual, we're concerned about our emotions. We're concerned about our feelings because you guys, feelings is the language of a person's soul. And so when we're concerned about that and we're looking at it as like, what can I do to better my spirit and my soul? What can I do to develop it? Right? That's when we religiously end up doing some type of practice, like meditation and or prayer, but something to penetrate the inside of us so we can better ourselves, get control of our emotions and get control of over our feelings and master those. Okay, it has nothing to do with I need to go live up on a mountaintop, have no food and nothing to wear except for maybe a simple cloth. That doesn't make somebody spiritual. Okay, that's honestly, if we're going to work on our human spirit and our soul and be spiritual, we want to do this while we're living in reality here in the world. Can you still be spiritual and better your human spirit and your human soul while you're raising kids? I'm not a better person when I am fasting for 5 days, okay, and ignoring my children and not eating. That doesn't make me a better person. Me being a better person is being able to do these things that we have to live in every day, but at the same time being conscious of my feelings and emotions and having that control over them. So it's being Buddha, but walking a Buddha's life in the world where material things are not controlling us, we control the material things. Our emotions are not controlling us, we're controlling our emotions. And it's all about the quality of us being concerned about our human spirit. Again, our human spirit, our soul, is all about feeling our feelings, acknowledging them, and our emotions, and getting control over those things in our life. That's what makes us a better person. Now, when we want to be spiritual, so many people completely give up money. They give up their way of life. And I'm talking physical, things that are tangible, of substance, having existence. We have to exist in this world. That's a reality. We're here. We're supposed to eat. And to say that material things are not spiritual, but they were derived, they were created from a spirit, if that makes sense. Somebody had to imagine it, somebody had to think it, right? And when we really tap in to the development of our spirit and soul, and tap into our chakras, if you will, then we're able to create things, be creative, and come up with things that will make our world and our existence here on this earth a better place. So we shouldn't be confusing living here and having material things versus having spirituality. Okay, they're two different things, yet they both resides within us. So we need to honor our spirituality and our growth of our human spirit, right? The mastery over our feelings and thoughts and beliefs. But at the same time, we also have to honor the fact that we're living here on the earth and we do need earthly substance. This is our very existence. We're supposed to be not checking out into a different reality, but being here in the now while we're growing our spirituality. And just make sure that you don't confuse that with being religious or being in a religion. They're not two the same things. Now, each person can perceive, good morning or good afternoon, Jessica. Actually, it's morning for you. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So now every person has a different reality that they, or their perception in reality is completely different than somebody else's. Now, how in the world could this be? Right? I'll let you know. It all has to do with our placement of our moon and all the aspects to our moon in our charts. This is what gives people different biases or a different perception, a different reality. We all integrate things in our life a different way. We all have a different type of support system. You know, the story that we tell when we are receiving information can have some biases or maybe no biases. It really depends on who, you know, what other planets are living with your moon. So don't criticize or just let somebody else or tell somebody else that they're incorrect or wrong in their reality or approach to the reality, because everybody has different biases. Okay, so they're going to look at it in a different way than you are. You're not wrong and they're not wrong. So it's about maybe checking like, hey, that's a good way to view it. I never thought of viewing it that way or seeing it, and checking it to see if it feels good to you. Is it the right way for you? And vice versa, right? So this is really about, you know, bringing in the different viewpoints so that we can maybe be open to seeing other people's realities. But again, I wanted just to reiterate on spirituality. It is the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul, as opposed to material or physical things. It does not say to give up material or physical things. It does not say do not manifest things in this lifetime. It doesn't say that. Okay, being spiritual doesn't mean that you're giving everything up in this lifetime. And reality, it's all about the state or quality of having existence or substance. So don't confuse with having to live in reality with our spirituality. Okay, we have to eat. That's a reality. That's not something that's spiritual. Now, we may give up eating for a while so that we can practice something to help us become more spiritual, if that is a way for you to go, but it doesn't mean that's a way for everybody to go. Okay, it doesn't mean that giving up food for 5 days is going to make you spiritual. You're giving up food for 5 days or fasting, all right, so you can learn to be disciplined, so that you can learn to overcome maybe hunger pains, right? To strengthen your self-discipline. Again, mastery over yourself, right? But that's not the only way to become spiritual. That's just a tool. That is just a practice that you do. If you choose to go about it in that way. So let's be careful not to judge how somebody is working on developing their soul and their spirit, because it's going to look different for everybody. And just because somebody may live in a really, really big home or a really, really tiny shack has nothing to do with their spirituality, whether they're a spiritual person or not. But I think we have a lot of spiritual people walking around that they're not even realizing that they're spiritual, because they are concerned with the human spirit and our soul, not just theirs, but other people's too. So now bringing this down a little bit here, again, we can, in our reality, we can really see how we perceive reality through our moon chart. Okay, so everybody is, or not everybody, but some people are going to have biases, whether as they're receiving it, as they're trying to integrate it into their life. One way or the other, some people are going to have biases. Some people are going to have a support system there. Some people are not going to have a support system there. So everybody's chart is so different, and that's what makes us so unique. And it's not about telling somebody that they're incorrect. It's about maybe letting yourself get a different point of view to look at a situation, or to look at a problem, or or an event in your life. So now, going in from the moon chart, I am actually opening up my self-awareness readings. Now, this reading will be based off your moon yoga chart. It will tell you how to receive, process, and integrate information and events, because we all have, and this chart can really hone down how you do receive, process, and integrate information in your life, as well as what you can do or who you can turn to for support in your life. Some people have those support systems, some people do not. Okay, but it's always really nice to be aware of this practice, or these people, is what that gives you such a good support. Turn toward that when you need that support in your life. So the pricing for my self-awareness readings, they're going to start at $97, And I will be offering a payment plan at a 20% increase to fit your financial budget at $38.80 for 3 months. I am also putting together a detailed 4-part series on each planet. These online courses will give you an in-depth knowledge and understanding about each planet. You will not be guessing or having to ask anyone how each planet is affecting your life or the events in your life. You will have a greater self-awareness and feel more empowered about your own life and be able to look at somebody else's chart with a greater awareness. And the pricing for that is we're going to be offering a monthly membership for $17.77. There will be one online course every month accessible to you and a free gift or surprise each month also for you. Or you could just do a standalone purchase for each video and it'll be at $22.77. But everything that all of my services, all of my products will always be going toward your self-development, your self-awareness, self-discipline, because it's all about developing your soul. I'm not going to be one of those astrologists. I'll let you know right now, if you're looking for predictions, I'm not going to give predictions. What I'm going to give you are your tools that will carry you forward for the rest of your life, that you can stand on and that will be able to really build your life up in a very positive way. Because just because we may have a planet that's hurting in our chart, let's look at that planet and let's see what we can do to build that planet up to the best we can in this lifetime. That's what it's all about. Turning around your life and building up that self-awareness so you can build a life you want to build. And again, that's what being spiritual is all about. Your human soul, our language, our feelings is our language to our soul. We need to understand our feelings. We need to understand our emotions. That's what makes the difference in our life and can absolutely change our life around to something that's more fulfilling. I will put the link below in the comments after I end the session. And if you didn't catch it during the live or you came in a little bit late, this presentation will be in the page, so you can replay it and look at it. Now, if you didn't catch the live session and you're listening to it after it's been downloaded to Facebook, if you could just put #replay, it just lets me know when you listened to it, if you're listening to the replay, so that maybe I need to adjust my time when I come online to better fit everybody's schedule. Okay, so everybody have a really blessed Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that you come out of this with exactly what you need today. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Namaste.